Let's get started today. Thank you so much for joining us, one and all, for this webinar presented by Ceymox Technologies in association with Amazon Web Services on the best practices for running Magento stores on AWS, Amazon Web Service. So, hey, this is Karthi Satish from Ceymox Technologies. I'm a business analyst, and I'm into the e-commerce industry from the past 10 years, experimenting in tremendous growth and driving businesses, perceiving and trying to catch on the moving trends. Over this time, it was indeed an opportunity to work for various platforms on different web services, out of which Magento and AWS was a well-acknowledged combination from the client experience. So here at Ceymox, we are a Magento development company, catering to our client needs by crafting solutions with Magento services and Magento integration. We have built a team with Adobe certified developers and experts with years of experience in the industry, bringing end-to-end e-commerce services for businesses. Currently, we are concentrating only on Magento, understanding the widespread possibilities in it. So we have experienced or experimented on many of our clients with the AWS Magento combination with extensive results on their performances. So let's not waste time. So let us welcome our valuable speakers for today. So we have Ms. Divyanshi Shukla. Divyanshi is an AWS solution architect with 7 years of experience in the cloud industry, worked on cloud design and architecture in various roles. She brings experience in IT strategy and consulting for enterprise, government, and SMB customers across industry verticals. Then we have Sayan Moitra. Sayan is also an AWS solution architect with over 7 years of experience in implementing cloud, DevOps, and SRE-based strategies across various industries, of course. And then we have Sujit. Sujit is actually a business professional with 10 plus years of experience working with various IT-related technologies and services. So he can be a go-to person to suggest you a better solution for your digital journey of your organization. So that's our speakers. And yeah, so as you all know, so as your Magento stores grows, you need more power, space, and memory for the website. The AWS, with AWS, you can change the type of instance as per your business goals with just a click. Like, judge for yourself. The best way to handle those Black Friday traffic spikes is having the ability to scale your server to deal with the extra load what we have, right? So Divyanshi, Divyanshi is actually going to take you guys through this. And so just to keep you all guys informed, if you have any questions or queries to be made in between the presentation, please feel free to mention the same over the chat box which we have so that we can help you on that, okay? And we also have a dedicated time slot for Q&A in the end of our presentation as well. So you guys can use both of it, okay? So Divyanshi, can you just...
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Karthi, for amazing introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Divyanshi Shukla, Solution Architect at AWS. And as Karthi mentioned, I'm here with my colleague Sayan Moitra and Sujit PR. So today we'll be covering how we can run Magento, an e-commerce platform on AWS. So this is the agenda for a glance. So in today's session, we'll be covering what is Magento and how we can run Magento on AWS, the various offerings of AWS to run Magento, and what are the benefits of choosing AWS. And we'll discuss about the customer case study who are using Magento on AWS and how they are benefited. We'll discuss about the high-level cost estimation, followed by the demonstration how we can actually run Magento on Amazon Lightsail, one of the AWS offering, along with the question and answer sessions at the end. So let's start the session. We'll start the session with what is Magento. As you all know what is Magento, but still to set the context, Magento is an open source e-commerce platform written in PHP. It uses multiple other PHP frameworks such as Lamina, Symfony, and its source code is distributed under open software license. Magento was acquired by Adobe in May 2018, and it is now known as Adobe Commerce. So before starting further, we need to understand. I would like to ask, what are the key consideration for the e-commerce store? So think from a customer perspective. If you are a customer using some of the e-commerce application, what are your uh, needs or the requirement? What you want out of that e-commerce application? How it should behave? So anyone can raise the hand and answer like what are the key consideration for an e-commerce store? Sharon, do we have any hands raised?
Anybody?
No problem. If no one, so if I'll think of a customer, so if I am browsing any e-commerce application, okay, so I want that e-commerce application to be quick. So if I'm searching for some product, let's suppose I'm browsing some e-commerce site which is dealing with the clothes or accessories. So if I'm searching that, I want a quick page load times. It should not be like, okay, now 100 products are loading, now other 100 products are loading, and I need to just navigate from one page to another, and it is taking a lot of time. So as an end customer, I will lose interest, and I might search for the other e-commerce site next time, which will fulfill my demand. So to avoid such kind of problems, so that is why it is very important that while we design any e-commerce store, we need to think of like to give the better experience, how we can give the better experience to the end user. So the e-commerce which we are going to deploy should have quick page load times and give a quick click through rate, and the conversion rate should be good, and everything we should get in an optimized IT cost. It should not be like that. If you want everything, so we have to invest so much to get it. So to get all these things, we need a platform, a better platform which will give the better experience to the end user. So if for example, if you're running an e-commerce site in a platform which is not with the latest processor, which does not have the actual compute capacity to scale up, which is not able to process properly, so that is why it will lead to the poor user experience. To mitigate this problem, we can make use of the AWS as a platform. So one of the offering of AWS is Amazon Lightsail. Let's understand what is Lightsail. Amazon Lightsail is an easy to use virtual private server provider, and it is the easiest way to get started on AWS. So, for example, if you are looking for an option to get all those key consideration which we have discussed, and you don't want to get the overhead, or you don't want to manage the servers, large servers, and you just want everything to be encapsulated in one platform, then Amazon Lightsail is one of the best fit for you. Amazon Lightsail, it is an integrated product of services offered by AWS. And as I said, it is bundled, so it is better for small to medium scale workloads. Okay. And you can run Magento e-commerce site on Amazon Lightsail in just few minutes. Now let's understand why Lightsail, how it will be beneficial for us. So Lightsail gets you started. As I said, it has been designed for the small scale businesses. So it gets you started quickly with pre-configured Linux and Windows application stacks. When I say stacks, so like whatever stacks are needed, like LAMP stacks, WAMP stacks, right? So all these stacks are pre-configured. You just have to go to the Lightsail console, create an instance, and select the stack as per your choice and deploy the server. And you will not be surprised, like considering small scale business where they want their site to be up and running, their e-commerce store to be up and running without any surprise billing. So this is the one of the cloud option which comes with the single and simple pricing model. It is not pay as you go, it has the fixed cost per month. basis on the kind of instance you select. You will not get variety of instances here because it has been designed to serve the needs of small scale business, considering all kind of requirements which comes there. So it gives you the bundled option, 4 to 5 option that will help to cater the needs of the small scale business. And you don't have to worry about everything you will get here in Lightsail in a single console. You need not to switch one console after another to manage the resources, right? So does any one of you know about Lightsail before this session, or any questions till now? Okay, I'll take it as no. We'll take the questions at the end if not any. So now we have understood, like, okay, this light sale has been designed, it is the offering to cater the needs of small scale business. Now question comes, what if you want to run Magento for an enterprise customer, where the demands are like they want a granular level control, they want to integrate lot many other services with the Magento. So what is the option for that? Will light sale be the good fit for them? The answer is no. Light sale will not be a good fit for the enterprise customer because they want granular level control. Now, so what would be the option for that to run Magento for the enterprise customer on AWS? To answer the question, we have the offering Elastic Compute Cloud, known as EC2. This is the virtual machine which comes with lot of features. So it is a feature rich service where you can run any kind of application and you can have a granular level control, and it gives you the flexibility of integrating with other services as well. Let's understand. It is a mix of multiple services and has its own individual feature. It is used to create a single architecture, and these instances are meant for small to complex architecture. It is not like if you want to use elastic cloud compute, which is EC2, to run these small scale workloads, you cannot do. It's not like that. You can definitely do that. It is meant for small to complex architecture. But if you want a flexible or granular level control, you can do that with EC2 instances. As I mentioned, on Amazon Lightsail, you get only a single console to manage all your instances, all your services, which Lightsail offer. But with EC2, with other services, because these are feature-rich services, you get separate console to manage all the features of these services, right? So let's understand. So any questions till now in the chat window, Shayan?
No such questions as of now.
Okay, anyone wants to
like my request to the attendees is, like, if they have any kind of doubts or questions, please feel free to raise their hands and the hosts will unmute you and you can ask your question.
Divyanshi, I can see two people raising their hands actually, Sham and Sulaik. Can you see?
Yeah, I mean, I cannot change the screen, so Shayan can read the question or try answering. Oh.
Yeah, actually, Sham is asking, like, will it be possible for us to send this particular architecture diagram?
That will need to check internally, and then we'll reply to Ceymox team.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll try our best to see how we can share it, but we need to take the internal approval.
Okay, ma'am.
And
So any doubt on sorry.
We have Sulaik as well.
Okay.
But he's unmuted. Okay.
Hi, Sulaik.
Sorry, I was on mute. So hi, actually, I think I can ask the questions at the end of the sessions, because some of the things I have multiple questions here. So like related with the light cell as well as the EC2 instance. So I think it is better to ask at the end of the session. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So to explain this architecture, I will be asking some questions from you, and it would be great if you could answer so that we can create this architecture in a simpler form, right? So let's start how. So this is the high level architecture to run Magento e-commerce software on AWS using the EC2 instances along with some other AWS services. So let's understand, like if you want to deploy or run your application, you will be needing a one server, right? Server here in AWS is EC2 instance, virtual server. So you will take one EC2 instance of your choice basis on the uh, your nature of the application, whether it is compute or memory intensive. You will select one server and deploy your Magento instance, right? Here we have deployed it. Now your application is deployed. Now we will be needing what? Database, correct? So we will make use of the managed relational database service of AWS, which is known as Amazon Aurora, which is the managed RDS service, relational database service, and it is compatible with MySQL and PostgreSQL database engines. Okay, so your data will be stored here in the database. Now you see, like they all these all both the services, EC2 instance and the database, are deployed in a private subnet. So whenever we deploy something, either on premises also, we need a virtual network, right? Inside some network. So we have created one network, which is denoted here as a VPC, virtual private cloud. Inside that, we have created two subnets. One is public subnet and the other is private subnet. The reason to divide the network into two subnet, it is for the security, because it is the best practice not to expose everything outside to prevent from the malicious attacks. Okay, so it is advisable or recommended to keep the application and the database inside the private subnet. So that is why we have kept the Magento instance and the database in a private subnet. Okay, now the customer has a requirement to you deploy the Varnish instance, or maybe some other application also you want to integrate with Magento, so you can deploy that as well. So to deploy that also you need a server. So you will provision another EC2 instance for the Varnish instance, okay, for the caching thing. Now this has been deployed. Three services has been deployed. Now you also have a requirement to integrate a search service for your e-commerce application. So there is a service known as Open Search Service, which is used for indexing and searching in a website to give the better experience to the end user. So you can integrate it. This is the Open Search Service. Okay. Now, to accelerate the performance of your database, as of now database is giving you the best performance, like it is giving you the performance with milliseconds of latency, but because your business demand is that you want microsecond latency for a database, so you need some mechanism to accelerate the distribution of the traffic from the database, right? So you will make use of the Amazon Elastic Cache for Redis, which is the in-memory the in-memory database, right? So this will accelerate the content from your database. Now after this is done, okay, for now I have a question. This has been deployed. So for example, in the enterprise environment or for any e-commerce, if there is a spike in the traffic, how you handle that as of now in your environment, or how you design the architecture for your customer so that the proposed solution is able to handle the traffic or spike. Any answer, there is no answer which is right or wrong. Anything which you have done, I'm sure you must have deployed this Magento for your end customers, for many of your customers. So just wanted to understand from that perspective. Anyone, Chen?
No one till now. So Adrian is asking something about load balancer.
Okay, I'll come to that. So Adrian, what happens? I was just coming. So for example, okay, I'll tell. So to handle the traffic, okay, what we ideally do is, like in an on-premises environment, what we do is we over provision the server. Okay, so that, for example, if there is a demand or if there is a peak in traffic, so we over provision the server sometimes, so that whenever there is a high load, it will be able to handle the traffic or the load. But this is not a good practice. Do you think this is a good practice? Because if we know that during the sale season or during the festive season only, traffic will spike. Rest of the time, traffic is not hitting up to the mark. So in that, during that duration, that your server which you have over provision is ideal, and you are paying for that resources, right? Because you are stuck, right? But with cloud, you get this flexibility that we have this feature, a service known as auto scaling group, which is intelligent enough so that, for example, you have provisioned one server. Okay. Now you have said if the server is, if the CPU utilization or the memory is reaching up to this percentage, let's suppose 60 percentage, provision another server. So it will scale out the instances, and you will define up to what, then it will scale out up to 10 instances, 20 instances based on the load, right? So you define that, so whenever the traffic is high, it will scale out the instances, it will provision the new instances. When the traffic is low, it will again scale in the instances, it will again come back to the normal count of the instance, which is one. So
Okay,
with the
Divyanshi, just to pause you, like Rajesh and Balakrishnan have raised their hands. Can anyone please unmute them?
Hi team. So yeah, actually, one question was asked like how we handle the spike, like more traffic comes. So normally they increase the instances. That was my answer.
Correct. So that's what I was telling, right? So
Yes.
so what happened to increase the instances? I told you, like increasing the instance will not benefit you when it comes to the cost, because on premises, because you are stuck. You have taken the hardware which are like, which is sitting idle for the rest of the time, only available during the peak season. You are only utilizing that. But with the help of the cloud, using this service known as auto scaling group, you can scale out and scale in the instances basis on the business requirement, right? So
Yes,
do you
agree.
think this feature is will help you or your customers?
Absolutely yes. This feature is very good in kind of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales.
Correct. So now let's coming, so we have addressed this scaling kind of thing. Whenever there's a high, like high traffic, peak in the traffic, peak in the demand, that will be managed here, and everything is deployed. Now the question comes, what if I have deployed everything, what if there is some mishappening or disaster or some earthquake or tsunami happen, or some mishappening happen, as in that server is not responding in one region. I mean, not like in whatever, wherever you have provisioned the servers, that server is not responding. What will happen? Your business will get impacted, right? So if you have provisioned all the things on your on premises server, and your there is a like some issue with the power supply in your on premises, or some other issues, whatever, xyz, and your, what will happen, your business continuity will be impacted. So whatever you have provisioned, that is not highly available. To make it highly available, we in AWS, we have the concept of availability zone. So in AWS, we have one region, which is geographic region. Okay. Within that region, we have two or more than two availability zones, which are isolated with each other, so that in case of any failure or disaster happen in one availability zone, so your business is like not impacted, because the traffic will be served from other availability zone. So you see here, we have provisioned the same services in one availability zone 1, and in availability zone 2. Now we have provisioned the service. Now how?
Divyanshi, sorry to pause you. Balakrishnan, you are permitted to speak. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Actually, the answer was when we were asking any load balancer thing, we were asking that question only I asked. But these things are only applicable on EC2 only, right? Not light sale.
Yeah, auto scaling is not applicable on light sale. Load balancing will be applicable on light sale. So in this today's session, we will show you the demonstration of the light sale and why these things will not be applicable on light sale, as I mentioned, because Amazon light sale has been designed in such a way so that it can only cater the requirement of small scale business, because small scale business have a fixed requirement that they want X thing without investing much, right? If for the small scale, like if you have some customer, they don't want to use light sale, they can make use of the EC2 instances basis on the workload, because in EC2 you get a variety of instance type, starting from the small configuration to the large configuration. I will cover this also in my upcoming slide when it comes to EC2 instances, what all variety of instances available. Is that okay? Shayan?
Yes, Divyanshi, you can proceed.
Will you continue? Okay. Thank you. So I was telling, so we have deployed these resources in availability zone 1 and availability zone 2. Now, how this like distribution of traffic will happen? I mean, routing of traffic will happen. So my user will be hitting the getting the response from availability zone 1. If in case availability zone 1 goes down, so the traffic will be route with the help of elastic load balancing. We will do the configuration so that if availability zone 1 goes down and if it is not responding, then traffic will be routed to availability zone 2. Okay, so this is how we have provisioned the backend. Okay, now let's understand how user will enter, how user will access your e-commerce application. So here user will hit the Amazon Route 53. User will hit the URL of your application. That URL of your application, so with the help of the Amazon Route 53, which is a domain name service, which is a domain name server, it is a web service that will resolve your domain name. Okay, after this traffic will go from Amazon Route 53 to CloudFront. CloudFront is a content delivery network which will help to accelerate the distribution of the traffic so that your end user should not face any latency or any performance issue, so that traffic get delivered to them from their nearest possible location. For example, I am using your application from Delhi, so traffic will be served from the nearest POP location, which is nearest to Delhi. And if Cheyenne is accessing the application from, let's suppose, Bangalore, Calcutta, so he will be getting the traffic served from his nearest location. So this is how content delivery network will help you to give the best experience to your end user. Having said that, while traffic will be coming from while the traffic will be coming to Amazon CloudFront, it will be validated for the security reason, because from outside any kind of traffic can come, right? So from it will get validated with the help of web application firewall rules, which we will implement, and the traffic will get validated. If it is okay, then it will pass on to the cloud, then it will pass on further to our architecture, otherwise it will be denied. Okay, so after CloudFront, and then it will go to the internet gateway. So for accessing your application, like to convert it, you can make use of the internet gateway, you can make use of the Bastion host, so to access your instances which are deployed in a private subnet. So this Bastion host, internet gateway, all will be deployed in a public segment, and then from there on that your resources can be accessed. So this is how the complete architecture looks like whenever you design the architecture. Now you must be thinking, oh, I mean, at the first, when we have looked at this architecture, it was looking complex. But now we understood the services. Now it is somewhat making sense. But let's understand, there might be question, Divyanshi, why you have made use of a two availability zone. We might have, like our customer want only one availability zone, and it can work with one availability zone as well, right? So to answer all your question, why lot many services are being used and lot many availability zones are used is because of this. We as a solution architect at AWS, whenever we propose a solution or design a solution to our end customer, that must meet all the 6 pillars of well-architected framework. To explain, the very first pillar of well-architected framework is operational excellence. That means the solution proposed should be in such a way that most of the operations are automated and it should reduce the manual effort, right? So the architecture or the solution we just discussed, do you think it is meeting this pillar of a well-architected framework? Can anyone guess what all services were there which are meeting this pillar of the well-architected framework? No right or wrong answer, just a try. Okay.
Sanket has raised his hand, so if anyone can unmute him.
Auto scaling.
Correct. Very nice. Correct. So we have made use of the auto scaling and the elastic load balancer to automate and reduce the effort, reduce the manual effort. Now, so the proposed solution is meeting the operational excellence pillar. Now comes to security. Security is job zero at AWS, and it is the top priority for us. So whatever solution we design for our customer, that must meet this security pillar. So anyone who can tell what are the services which we have used for the security?
We have Rajesh, Balaji, and Venkatesh, Sanket, Abdul. So can anyone unmute them?
Hi.
Hello.
So two subnets, private and public, and the second one, I guess the DNS of AWS 53 someone is the DNS service of Amazon.
Yes, and one more.
And firewall.
Yes.
AWS firewall.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I feel really happy that everyone is hearing us so patiently. And let's talk about the third pillar, reliability. The reliability is basically the proposed solution is designed in such a way that it is fault tolerant and resilient. So in case of any mishappening, your business continuity is not impacted. So what all services we have used for that?
Auto scaling group.
So, but auto scaling is to, I mean, auto scaling.
Sorry.
So, and we have
Availability
zones.
Yes, availability zones is the
Basic servers.
Yeah, availability zone is there for the reliability, which is meeting the reliability period so that your business continuity is not impacted. And for the other one, auto scaling group, that will come in other pillar, I would say. So let's see other pillar. The fourth pillar is performance efficiency. So the performance efficiency is basically the proposed solution should be performance efficient, which will provide the low latency, the better experience to your end user, and is able to handle traffic peaks. Which service for performance efficiency?
We have Balakrishnan.
Auto scaling and Redis cache.
Redis is there. Auto scaling, correct.
EFS.
And load balance.
Load balancer we have covered in this reliability because it is switching from one availability zone to another availability zone.
EFS, the
Yeah, for that is storage. Yeah, and what else? Other one? to give you the hint.
CloudFront.
Yes. Perfect. Then let's talk about the cost
CDN.
optimization. Sorry.
CDN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. CloudFront CDN. Yeah. Let's talk about the fifth pillar, cost optimization. So as I mentioned in the very first slide that we want everything, but in an optimized IT cost. So the proposed solution we give, it should be like it should reduce the spend and higher efficiency. So this like cost optimization is, can you tell like which service is contributing to the cost optimization?
Auto scaling group in one sense.
Correct. Or yes, auto scaling group is the one which is contributing to the cost optimization pillar of this well architected framework. And do you think that the whatever pillars we have discussed, if we propose a solution by meeting all the 5 pillars, will the solution lead to sustainability, the 6th pillar?
Sorry to pause you, Divyanshi. We have hands being raised from Balakrishnan and Venkatesh. Please go ahead with your question. Okay,
No,
you can continue.
Cost optimization only includes the auto scaling, nothing else.
Yes. And also I'll cover like how we can use the cost optimization in our upcoming slide. In the architecture, it cannot be fit in. So choosing the right instances and all that also leads to the cost optimization. But you are absolutely correct. Auto scaling group is also contributing to the cost optimization pillar. So my question was like, do you think like if the solution meets all the 5 pillars, that also leads to the 6th pillar, that is sustainability? Answer yes or no. Or why yes, why no? I'm sure you will answer correct only. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay, we have hands being raised from Sanket. If anyone can unmute him.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Sanket. Yes, absolutely. So if we'll follow all these pillars, definitely the proposed solution will be sustainable one, because we have talked about the auto scaling where we are not over provisioning or under provisioning the server. At the same time, we are also taking care of the cost optimization. At the same time, we are also automating the processes and reducing the effort. So this is all leading to the sustainability. Correct. Now let's understand. We have talked about the EC2 instances. You see in AWS offers plethora of EC2 instances, right? And these EC2 instances are categorized as general purpose instances, compute optimized, memory optimized. Now, how will you see like which option is right for you, which EC2 instance you should go with? That totally depends on the nature of your application which you want to use. For example, if you want to run an application, any e-commerce application which is compute intensive, so for that you need a compute optimized instances. AWS offers the instances with the various processors. So for the Linux instances, we have the Graviton processors, which are AMD Graviton instances with the AMD processors. The other is we have Intel processors instances, and we have the AMD processor instances. Now for the Windows one, we have Intel and AMD. So when we were talking about the cost one, so like choosing the right instance type will also leads to the cost optimization, because and it also leads to the choosing the right instance types will also give meet your customer requirement, as in you will be able to meet the performance efficiency by choosing the right instance type. You will be able to meet the like cost optimization by choosing the right instance type, right? So in that way also you will not over provision or under provision the single instance as well. So this is what very important, to choose the right instance type. And we are here to help you to choose the right instance type basis by understanding the nature of your application. Okay. Second is auto scaling. We have talked about auto scaling in our architecture. Auto scaling is one of the fabulous service. So like for example, if you're not sure, or like when the traffic will be spiked, you can go for the dynamic scaling. Okay, when you are sure, like as someone was mentioning, for the Black Friday sales and all, so there the traffic will be spiked, then you can go for the predictive scaling, like where, or the scheduled scaling. And or for example, like there are various workloads or the application which want which that the traffic will be high, or there will be peak traffic during this 5 hours. Okay, so then you make it scheduled scaling, so that that when this is the time, it is already vetted that this is the time there will be high traffic on our application. So accordingly you can set the auto scaling to scale out and scale in. Okay, and also you can get like with the help of there are various other services you can integrate with for monitoring, and the cloud watch, which will also contribute to the setting up the rules for the auto scaling. So there are other services also that can be integrated. The third is database scaling. Now, the question comes, this I wanted to ask this question from all of you. Have you faced any customer this issue in with any of your customer where application scalability or the application scaling was in place, but their database was non-responsive? Have you come across such cases? Sharon, do we have any hands
Yes,
raised?
Yeah, we have Rajesh.
we have faced this a lot of times. Like customers, what our infra team says to us, like it is sessions which are too high, and that is why database get logged, and we need to restart the RDS, or maybe sometime they increase it, but it is very difficult to get approval to increase the RDS. So most of the times we need to restart the RDS, that database get logged.
Are you using RDS? Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Rajesh here.
Okay, hi Rajesh. So are you using any of the AWS services?
Yes. One of our project is using AWS services itself, and in this kind of situations, like Black Friday, or the when there are customer traffic is supposed to be high, in those kind of times, we encountered the sessions are too much, and they restart the IDS because site becomes very slow. Like catalog pages works properly, but when customer reach to checkout page, it is very slow. Sometimes like add to cart is also very slow.
Okay. So that is why we say now, like choosing the right instances, doing the right configuration is important, because like with the RDS also, you have created, and there are lot many features in RDS. I'm sure you must have seen that, right? Where like you can configure it accordingly so that it is able to manage the load, it is able to scale. And apart from the RDS, we have for our, like if you are using MySQL, okay, to get the 5 times the throughput of the MySQL, you can make use of the Amazon Aurora, which is a managed relational database service. And this is the AWS database, which is compatible with two database engines, PostgreSQL and MySQL. But it is scales automatically. You can make like you can set to scale automatically, and then it will give you the better performance. What happens, like what is the difference between managed databases and unmanaged databases? This is the thing which you mentioned. When the application is scaling at a high rate, and it is able to handle the traffic, but your database is not scaling at the same rate. So we define that how many read replicas we want to create for our RDS or for our Amazon Aurora, so that it will able to distribute the traffic among the read replicas. So in that way, load is handled, because database scaling is not that straightforward, as we know it is for the EC2 instances, right? So that is why I like it is very important to discuss with all of us to understand what all configuration we can do to handle such kind of loads, specifically for the sale kind of scenario, right? So that is why, like, we have Amazon Aurora, which takes care of the thing where you can see like how many you, if you want to scale, then how many read replicas you want to keep, so that it is able to manage handle the peak traffic, right? So with you can create
Hey,
up to 50.
Divyanshi, we have hands being raised from Funny. So can
Mhm.
one can like Funny, you are allowed to speak. You can speak up. Okay, Divyanshi, you can continue.
Okay, so I was just telling that up to 15 low latency read replicas you can create with the help of Amazon Aurora. And Rajesh, we can discuss on your issue, the customer issue separately to understand what all configuration you did to address that problem. Okay. So coming to the point number 4, like where we have discussed about the caching. Okay. So to accelerate in memory data store and cache, to accelerate the database performance, right? So where like so that it will give you the microsecond latency to your users instead of millisecond. Okay. So you can make use of the Amazon Elastic Cache for Redis, which offers the fast and managed in-memory data stores instead of relying entirely on slower disk-based databases. And this caching application data and side session state management are helpful. So I think Rajesh, like you can, this also answers your question where you can make use of the in-memory data store for the server-side session state management. So we have the option known as Amazon Elastic Cache for Redis. Then comes fast search experience. As we have discussed, we have made use of the service known as open search. So for anything, like if you are creating your e-commerce software or e-commerce application, sorry. So for e-commerce application, you need a search service, a very quick search service. For example, as I gave you the example, if I'm searching for some apparel store, if I'm searching for product, let's suppose it should be in such a way. For example, I'm searching for one particular apparel, which I don't know the name, what we call that apparel in the market. So, but I'll give some name, whatever I have heard. So, search service should be that strong and intelligent enough so that it will display the product which exactly I want, which exactly the customer wants, right? So, this is the open search service delivers high quality and personalized search results. Right. So, basis on my search history, it will create the personalized search result so that it will give me the best feeling. Oh, this app is so considerate about me that it is giving me the choices which I like, right? Instead of not giving any XYZ choices to just to get their business done, right? So this is how.
Divyanshi, we
Yeah.
have hands raised from Sham. Sham, please feel free to.
Please explain the fourth one, man.
This one.
Please explain the use in memory data store and caching.
Okay. So the in-memory data store and caching is, for example, every time your application is making request to the database, right? And your database, every time your database is processing the request. So
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
suppose similar type of request is being asked by your application to the database. This will unnecessarily take the time and make the database heavy with the same
What,
kind of
ma'am?
request.
What, ma'am? Can't able to hear.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Now audible, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, if your application will keep requesting the same kind of request to your database, okay, your
Okay, ma'am.
database will get the similar kind of request and your database will get heavy loaded, right?
Oh, right, ma'am.
Similar kind of request. To avoid this kind of thing, okay, you can make use of the in-memory data store and cache, which is Amazon Elastic Cache for Redis, in front of your database, integrated with the database. Okay, the one we have
Okay.
seen, the Elastic Cache for Redis was placed in front of Aurora, so that similar kind of request coming from the application to the database is being cached in the Amazon Elastic Cache for Redis, so that now again, whenever the application is making the request, same request to the database, it will not go to the database, it will be served from Elastic Cache. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. You will catch the database.
Yeah.
Catch the database and get the information. That's all.
Correct.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. No problem. So this is what I was explaining, fast search experience. Okay, so with the help of this, you get the speed and relevancy, and it has a huge impact on user experience, as I explained by giving the example where you feel that, oh, how this, particular company is so concerned about me giving the personalized search results, showing me the product I want. And it also has the interactive log analytics. Then comes, we have discussed about Amazon CloudFront for fast content delivery. Now I want to ask a question. What problem can be solved using Amazon CloudFront? Hey, am I audible?
Yeah, Divyanshi, you are audible. We have Sanket has raised his hand. Sanket, please.
Is it security?
CloudFront is content delivery network, right?
Speed?
Yes. Speed? Yes. And what is speed? Like in e-commerce application, what is speed? The hint is already given on the slide, but still. Going back to the very first slide, which I said the key consideration for any e-commerce store.
So latency will be good.
Yeah, latency will be one thing, and the page loading time, right? Where user lose the interest. So this, because latency will be minimized, content will be served from the nearest location. So page loads will be quick. It will not be like loading 100 products, loading a page. So all this, you will get rid of all those problems, making the use of Amazon CloudFront for fast content delivery. And your e-commerce websites with slow response impacts conversion. So it will not, that problem will be resolved. So all the key consideration which we wanted, that will be solved by using the AWS platform, by using the Amazon CloudFront and the various services we have discussed in the entire architecture, right? Now we have talked a lot. Let's hear from our customers. So we have all the things we have discussed about the various services of AWS, and how till now we understood how we will be benefited, because we have talked about the 6 pillars of the AWS well architected framework, where we understood what all the areas where we are benefiting if we are using, or if we are deploying our application, which is Magento or any application on AWS, how we are getting benefited, right? Across all the 6 pillars. This is how we have seen by which service will benefit us where. And let's understand. So let's talk about the customer case study. So there is a customer known as MyDress, which operates an e-commerce service that enable fashion labels in Japan, Korea, and Taiwan to sell clothes and accessories to customers in Hong Kong. So basically, this customer is running Magento on AWS. Prior running Magento on AWS, this customer was running Magento on its on-premises environment. Okay. Despite of investing so much in the on-premises environment, they were not able to meet the scale or the business needs. Right? Scalability was one of the biggest challenge, along with various sub challenges. Then they have considered AWS to overcome this scalability challenge, and we have talked about auto scaling group, and so that has benefited them, that has helped them to meet the scalability issues, to meet the scalability challenge, right? And apart from that, although they are able to meet the business demands, apart from that, they have saved a lot of cost by moving to AWS. These are the words from the IT manager of the mydress.com, which says that with AWS we don't have to purchase enough hardware to support our demand peaks and have much of it idle during our less busy periods. The same we have discussed. And I would estimate we have saved HK $600,000 by not having to acquire up to 3 physical servers. So this is how the customer get benefited once they start leveraging AWS as a platform to run their applications and the workloads. This is the rough cost estimation. Okay, we have discussed. So like when it comes to cost estimation, we know that AWS here it offers two kind of pricing. One is on demand, the other is reserved instance. On demand is basically pay as you go. Whatever you use, you are paying for that. Okay, for whatever, how many hours you are using or how many minutes you are using, you are paying for that particular duration. That is on demand. Second is reserved instance, where you made a commitment that this is your application is deployed in production and it will run 24/7. Okay. So because you have made the commitment, your production instances will not be shut down. So you can opt for reserved instance pricing, where you will get a significant discount of up to 72% compared to on-demand pricing. Okay. Then apart from that, we also have the various other pricing models that we can discuss separately one-on-one, where you can like a lot of compute saving plan, where you can get a significant savings on a particular running on a particular instance, or you get a particular saving on running on a particular instance type, a particular compute. Okay, so this is how the cost estimation. To give you the rough approximate idea, we have talked about Amazon Light Sale. So as we were discussing about Amazon Light Sale, there was a statement that it comes bundled. Okay, and it has been designed for small scale business with very simplicity, as in it comes with a simple bundled and with a simple price. So it comes with a fixed cost, that 19 for bundle 4 GB, you need to pay $19.62 per month, irrespective you use the server or you don't use the server. That is the fixed one. But when it comes to EC2 instance, the pricing is pay as you go. For example, if you are basis on the type of configuration you choose, 2 core, 1 core, whatever GB you have selected, what all configuration you have selected, the EC2 instances will be built as per your usage if you go for the on demand, right? So similarly is the case with the RDS as well. So this is, I mean, don't just see the pricing mentioned here. It varies based on the workload you want to run. And to give you the best idea, what would be the pricing, what are the right instance type, as I said, that choosing the right instance type is very important to run your workload on cloud. So there we are here to help you on that part. So let's quickly see the demo of Magento on AWS Light Sale. So here we'll be deploying. We will show you the Light Sale console. So first of all, we will follow this. So basically what we will do is we will deploy the database and the LAMP instance. Sorry, my session expired, no problem. By the time, I think you can utilize this time to fill the feedback form. Okay, and in case of any issue, Sayan will help you there. So this is the console of the Light Sale. This is how Light Sale looks like. And you see, like I told you that within a single console, you manage all your resources. So you see instances, containers, database, networking, storage, snapshots, right? So what it is saying is to create a database. Let's create a database. Okay. So in the database, it is saying create a database with MySQL with 5.7.26. So let's create a database with MySQL. Sorry, you have to create a database with MySQL. Okay. Then also, I think they have mentioned choose the high availability, right? Okay. Choose high availability. you see the pricing, right? $30, $60, and it is 1 GB, 2 vCPU. It is fixed for the light sale, right? In case of any question, you can ask definitely. Okay. So, and here, like you need to specify the login credentials. So I will create the login credential. Why we are following this is basically to show whatever, like deploy the lamp instance, deploy the database, so that whatever, if when we will validate the application, it will show exactly what has been shown here. So basically, I chose to deploy the instances in front of you to give you the confidence, like how easy it is to deploy on cloud. Okay, you have selected high availability and you select this, and then it is, you give the name here, the tool DB they have mentioned. I'm using the same name so that there is no confusion. Okay, you create a database. And all this step by step, we have the documentation available publicly. Okay, all this thing is also public, so you can make use of that. It will take time, okay, some time to provision the database. By the time we will create the instance, so let's create an database instance. EC2 in my bad. Let's create a light sale instance. Okay, let me create a light sale instance. So this is the launch script. While creating the instance, we will put this, and this is basically the Bitnami image. This script does the following, like which has the Bitnami image, has a default web page installed, and the script start by changing the root directory of the web server and deleting the existing file. So this is what the basic configuration. I think you must be more familiar with this because you do this Magento day in day out. Okay. So let me just give me 1 minute. So as I told you, it comes with a bundled, right? So here you select LAMP PHP 7. Okay. Now here there's an option, add a launch script. You add the launch script here, and here also you see there's a plan, fixed plan, first 3 months free, first 3 months free. This is what the free one. This is how you get this. Okay, you create the instance. Okay, instance is created, then we'll create the load balancer. We are creating this. First of all, we will create all the resources, then we will see the application as in how it will work, as in if we deploy the entire LAMP stack and database on a single light sale instance, and how there will be a separate instance and the separate light sale database. So in that way. Okay, let's create the load balancer. Load balancer is part of the networking. You see everything. I am not switching the console. It is coming in the same console. Okay. So you see this load balancer will cost 18 USD per month. These are the fixed price. So this is the cloud option, which has the fixed price. Okay. We will set the target instance later. Then now we will deploy the RDS DB. Let's deploy the RDS DB. So let's take this. So RDS DB is something like they are saying to deploy on a, like RDS as a service instead of light sale database. We have deployed as of now one light sale database, one load balancer, one instance. Okay. By the time it will come, you see it is taking some time. So it takes some time. Database takes some time to come up. So I'm provisioning, I'm creating this database. Okay, here also another database is already there. So it says that wherever your Lightsail instance are, in the same way your database instance which you create, the RDS instance must be in the same region. Okay, so you create that. Okay, see, it says, so I have used the Mumbai region, so I am using the Mumbai region to provision my database as well. Okay. Okay, let's create a database. It is saying to provision MySQL, right? Sorry. Some version, let's take this only. Okay, the free tier. You put the database, this password here. This is okay. Let's let rest everything will be default as of now because we are just testing. Okay, create a database. Okay, now let's see. Now let's, by the time it is getting created. So this is the first one, verify the application, which says that customer will hit the traffic and everything in a single Lightsail instance. There is PHP front end also, there is MySQL also. Okay, so let's see how we will validate the application. We will go to the instance. Let's go to the Lightsail instance and click on it and browse the public IP. Okay, let's see. You see here, front end host IP is this, database host is localhost, right? Okay. And clear till here, like in the single Lightsail instance, we have deployed the database also and the PHP also, entire LAMP stack along with the database. And this database configuration we have done with the help of launch script, which we have put during the creation of the instance. Is it clear? Any doubts here? Please feel free to ask. Okay, so this is how, like, this is ideally we got the response like this. Now see, attach a Lightsail database. So here we are attaching the Lightsail database. So how we are attaching the Lightsail database? Let's see here. We are attaching the Lightsail database as, from the databases we will take the endpoint, okay, and put it in the setting. Okay, Let's change the configuration. So as of now, here in the single Lightsail instance, there is database and the front end both deployed in the single instance. Now we are using we are doing is we have created the Lightsail database instance, right? Let's open it. Okay, it is taking time. Yet not created. So what we are trying to do is we are keeping the front end separate and we will create the database separate. Okay, so here we are passing the endpoint of the Lightsail database to the Lightsail front end instance. Okay. Okay, let it be like this. It takes some time. Any question till here? I'll show you. So this will come like the moment I'll put the endpoint of this. Once it is created, it will show us the endpoint of this RDS database. Let it take time. Now we will scale the front end. So by the time the database is getting created, we will scale the front end. So the architecture will look like this. So where using the help of load balancer, we will add many instances, like 2 to 3 instances, where the traffic will be load balanced among these instances. And it will be like served via highly available MySQL Lightsail database. Okay. So let's create. How we will create these instances? How we'll scale the front end? We will create the snapshot of each of the each of the Lightsail instance. Okay, and with the help of snapshot, we will create the new Lightsail instance. Okay, see here it is shown how you will create the snapshot. So let me show you. Let me show you snapshot. So you go here, you go to instance, you go to manage, and then here you see this option snapshot. Okay, now here automatic snapshots also. For example, you want to create a backup of the Lightsail instance, you can enable automatic snapshot to back up your resource every day. Okay, you store your 7 most recent snapshots, and then for example, if you want to create a manual snapshot, you can do that as well. So we are creating the snapshot. So the status is snapshotting. I don't know why ideally database don't take much time to get created. Okay, still snapshot is also created. No problem. Any question till now? Like what we are trying to do in this lab?
Yeah, no such questions as of now. There are a few questions in the chat, which I have just replied to.
Okay, thank you, Shayan. So how many of you are have worked on the AWS platform earlier? Now you all can raise your hand. Okay. Snapshot is
I just basically used a bit of AWS console only, but the application I used most, like the Magento. There are 2-3 instances. Like one is service provider company called Cloudways.
Mm-hmm.
internally they are managing things on AWS and other service providers. So I have used those consoles. AWS console I used for just testing purposes only, not in a production or any actual website.
Okay. Thank you.
Basically, I'm a Magento developer. I just do Magento development and a bit of server management, or sometimes just like it is a debugging purpose only. You debug the servers.
Correct. Thank you so much for sharing the inputs. So we see, like, we have created this snapshot. Now with this snapshot, we can create a new instance. Okay. So let's create a new instance. So we can here, because now we don't have to add the launch script, because we have already created a snapshot of the instance which is where launch script is already included. So the instance will be copied as is with the help of snapshot, right? So let's create another instance. Now let's create another as well. Sorry, not here, with the snapshot only. Create new instance. Okay, DB is now up. Let me show you quickly. So what it says is we just have to take the endpoint of this database. Okay. And with the help of a username password, we will change the settings. Okay. Let's do it. Wait just a second. Okay, so here it is coming like this. Okay, earlier database host was local host, because in the same instance database was also installed. Now let's change the setting. Change DB host name as a this endpoint. Okay, let's recheck whether we have selected the right endpoint or not. Okay, selected the right endpoint. What is the DB username? DB username is DB master user. Let's put it here. Okay, the password is password is this. We need to refresh it once. What is this? You see here? Connecting to database connection successful. We have seen the string also, endpoint string also for the database, right? Earlier, the one which was mentioned here. Okay. Before that, it was saying that please confirm the settings, right? See here. Now, earlier it was coming database host as local host, but now you see front end host IP is different and the database host is different. Database host is the connection string of the Lightsail database instance which we have provisioned. Okay, so you can do that as well, like where you can run the front end on some other in another Lightsail instance and the database on the another database instance. Okay, let's see, like we have created the load balancer also to load balance the front end and serving the traffic from the this one. But because we have changed the setting now and we have created the snapshot earlier, maybe this setting will not come. But because we are otherwise like if we would have waited for the database to come up before creating the instance, we would have short up the time. So that is why I've created the instance, just to give the idea how this works basically. Okay, so the networking will come to the networking, you come to the load balancer, then we'll select the instance. So first is this, we have selected attach, we'll attach it, and then there is an option attach another, attach, 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 attaching. Okay, now it will ask us to see it will ask us to see like whether the traffic is evenly distributed or not. Okay, so ideally after the configuration we would have taken the snapshot. So you got the concept of snapshot. So like what if you want to replicate your EC2 instance as is, right? You can take a snapshot of your EC2 that light sail instance, okay, and provision the new instance with the help of that snapshot. So the new instance which will be provisioned will be the same as the one which had been provisioned earlier.
Hi, Shiv. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
So when you take AMIs or snapshot for deployments or auto scaling, what will be the ideal way to do hot fixes? If your application is having a smaller change or small changes that usually happens, so how what should be the approach to deploy those changes, smaller changes to the auto scaling? Is it like we have to create the AMI,
Yes.
create a new AMI and deploy?
Yeah, the custom AMI.
So we have to create a new AMI every time.
So every time, like for example, the hot fixes, like for example, you see that some hot fixes needs to be applied. So how frequent our hot fixes are, you can automate the process as well.
No, in that scenario also we have to take the AMI every time, right? Or is there any other alternative so that I can just quick update the source code and there's already up instances in the auto scaling loop?
So definitely, like there is no shortcut as such. There is some manual effort or some automation.
I will take this question. So Shevin, like you were asking like whether like when you want to update your code, how you can do that, right?
Yes. So on the fly, like so we have an application and we uses AMI to launch. Okay, whenever a bigger deployment is there, we uses it. But when it's come to hot fixes and all smaller changes or one small issue is there, so for that and all, creating an AMI is feasible or not? I'm not sure. So usually we use a custom methodology for that actually. So
right,
that there any possibility for that is there?
Right. So see, AMIs should be created and it should be referenced as a golden point. Like you need to have a golden AMI that can be used by your auto scaling group launch template. Let's say if you want to deploy some new changes or features or even do some hot fix, bug fix, it is always recommendable to go with a CI/CD approach. For that, you have AWS developer tools like code commit, code build, code deploy. So basically, you have your source version control, let's say in code commit. You push some changes in code commit that will automatically trigger a code build. After code build, it will validate, do the unit test and everything, performance testing, integration testing, all of the checks getting passed, it will do a deployment in your EC2 instances. So that is the recommended and the best practice from AWS side.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shayan. So I just wanted to show you as we have taken the snapshot, right? And like we have created the instances and load balance it with the help of load balancer. So once we will browse the load balancer URL, you will see this front end and host IP is changing. So this is how you will handle the load balancing among the instances. Okay. Now we'll move further. Now we will use the Lightsail VPC, like PHP app in the Lightsail, and the RDS instance. Okay, so we have seen that one PHP, the web application and the database in a single Lightsail instance. Then we have seen web application in a different Lightsail instance and the database as a database Lightsail database instance, right? Now we will see the front end as a Lightsail instance, and the backend, the database will be the RDS instance which we have provisioned, right? So what we will do is we'll just change the endpoint of the RDS instance. To do that, we need to enable the peering also, VPC peering, so that because they both are on different virtual private cloud, right? Different virtual network. One is managed by Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services. The other is other is also managed by AWS, but we have, when we were provisioning it, so we had the granular level control here where we have said that it is in default VPC, right? Here you see we have selected this VPC while creating, but here we don't see any the networking information in the Lightsail one. So what we will do is we need to do the VPC peering. So to enable the VPC peering, it is saying that how we will enable the VPC peering. Let's go to the Lightsail, go to the account, and we will come here as an advanced, and then we will enable the VPC peering. So for me, it is already enabled. So once it is enabled, VPC peering, let's see, I'll re-enable for you. So it's just a matter of single click where you will, with the help of which you will enable the VPC peering. Once it is done, okay, you can, in the security group, what happened, you need to allow the inbound and the outbound, inbound traffic, so that your this database, the Lightsail instance, can talk to the RDS instance. Okay, so what it is saying is that go to the connectivity and security. So here, when you go here in inbound, so it shows like this. Now you have to, in the source box, you need to enter this. So it is saying this is the CIDR address of the Lightsail subnet. Okay, so you need to allow this. Let's allow this. So this I've already allowed here. Now it is saying you just have to, again, we know like what we have to do now. The similar thing which we have done for the Lightsail database instance, we have taken the endpoint of that and put it here in the settings tab. So similarly, we have to do here as well for the RDS. So let me open the RDS. Okay, let me check the endpoint. Okay, so this is how this endpoint works. Basically, you need to make the changes, and this is how it will show. You see here, it takes a bit of time. So you see your database host is now this RDS1. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show, the three things. One is how you can run the database and the web application in the same instance. Okay, how you can isolate the front end and the back end within using the Lightsail instance and the Lightsail database. Third, how you can load balance your front end. Okay, and how you can keep running the front end on the Amazon Lightsail instances and passing the backend via help with the help of other like AWS RDS service, and how the connectivity happens. So this is what I wanted to show here, and just this is just to give the idea how easy it is to configure, where you see within the same console we managed to do everything here, and how we have created snapshot in case we want some backup or you want to restore. And in the same way, if you want to do the things like you want to manage the things like networking, snapshot, and the connectivity, so you can do everything from the same console. So this is what I wanted to show. And any question till here? Shayan, any question? Are there any questions?
Yeah, can see like Rajesh and Sulek has raised their hands. So if anyone can unmute them.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. I have a question. Suppose we have to move the site to live, like if we set up a development environment initially and later we wish to move the things to live. So here you have explained about taking a snapshot and using it for the second instance. For example, if I am going with one instance with 2 GB, or it's a pure example, 2 GB of memory and some uh, database, etc. And later, once we move the things to live, we wish to have the advanced version of that lifestyle instance, like 4 GB of memory and some double the space of database. Then in such case, what is the easiest method to do the same? Or can we create the snapshot and is that option?
Shayan, you want to take this question?
So you were saying like you have provisioned and went live with a particular instance type with some particular cores of CPUs. And in case that you want to upgrade those instance type, what is the best practice? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So for that purpose, what you can do, that is the reason here your auto scaling thing comes into play. Because how auto scaling works is, let's say you have a golden AMI that contains your source code. You have launched a set of instance, let's say with T3.medium or T2.medium or any instance types. So what auto scaling will do, it will launch the number of instances based on your configuration settings. What you can do again, like let's say you want to upgrade the instance type, or let's say you want to increase the number of CPU cores or memory, you can create another set of AMI, make the configuration changes, and just remember, like your application is totally working in a separate EC2 instance. You are not touching that. Now, once you have created another set of AMI, what you need to do, you need to just go and modify the particular AMI that you were previously using in the launch template for your auto scaling. And when auto scaling will detect a new set of AMIs, it will go ahead and start spinning up new instances. So whenever the new instances comes up, the traffic from your older instances will be automatically drained and it will be shifted to the new instance. So in this way, you will be having 0 to less downtime.
Okay, I'm okay with that auto scaling approach on the EC2 environment. So my question is, sometimes if I'm using the Lightsail instance, then is it easily doable to make it upgrade to the next level? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, definitely for light scale, like not only for light cell. If you are using auto scaling, let's say in light cell, if you are using auto scaling itself, you have that same capability that you can do with normal auto scaling process.
So just to add here, I think I'll just show you. So I think your question was, if you want to change the configuration of this light sail instance, right? If I understood correctly, okay, you want to change the configuration of the light sail instance. That's what I have heard. The person who has asked the question is unmuted.
Yes.
Yeah. So please confirm, like, is my understanding correct? You want that how we can change the instance size configuration, correct? Correct?
Yes, for example, if I'm using this instance for long, like for somehow I want to upgrade it into the next version. Like for this Lightsail instance, you are using 4 GB RAM option. So and a certain database. So I want to upgrade it into the next level, like 8 GB RAM with 160 GB hard disk, or the next level. So in such case, what is the easiest method to upgrade it to the next level?
So you see here, like when I clicked on from the snapshot only, you create, right? You need to create a snapshot to upgrade, right?
Okay.
Okay. And when you create an instance from the snapshot, you can select here. And in the light sale, as I mentioned, you get a very limited option to scale, right? Because it is a bundled offering. Another option is, if you want to use your light sale instance, okay, with a higher configuration, like you have worked, like maybe your customer for which you're working was a small scale customer. Now they want an expansion, right? They want an expansion for their business, okay, because their business is doing great. So you cannot say that you are stuck here, you cannot move. You can definitely move. You can export to Amazon EC2, okay, same AMI, and change the configuration with the available options there and provision your instance. Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you.
Okay, that's clear.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question was comparatively, it is related to RDS. Like there are two kind of RDS we have basically. One is read RDS and one is write RDS. And however, we later found that most of our requests went to the write RDS only, and our read RDS were very in an ideal state, very low CPU utilization. And apparently, we found that it was the post server request; those are redirecting to the write RDS. Is it this understanding is correct? Because we just observed it, we do not have found any facts that it is the reason.
Sorry, I didn't get you properly.
Okay.
Can you come again?
Sure. So there are two types of RDS we do have, correct? One is the read RDS and a write RDS.
In RDS, we create a replica. Read replica and write replica.
Yes. So our team, what they have done is they have created two read replicas and one is write replica. Like wherever just we need to just select queries are there where we have to just fetch some data or look up some data. They are the intention was they will look into the read RDS.
Correct.
However, it is not the actual case. When we went to the production and we found where the actual requests are going, we found that most of all the queries are fired onto write database only.
Okay. For
So is
that,
it something related to networking or it is something related to application level?
So that depends. I mean, that there is no straight on answer as such, because like when you have configured, if you have like most of the what happened, like few of the customers do like lot many this kind of handling via application side only. Okay. So but like there definitely the configuration matters. So like if you have directed your kind of request, like all search request and all those will go to particular read replicas and not to the actual database which is performing both the function read and write. So in that way the configuration is made so that all the requests like searching and all that goes to the read replica. So we need to see what exactly has been configured and which application it is talking to. So if you we can connect separately as well on this part if that environment is still live. Is that okay?
Actually, that is our customer's environment, and I'm not sure that will allow us to do the some those kind of introspection there. However, we had session with them, and this was the conclusion. Like it is some we have observed that this is some post requests are there. All the select queries are also going to the right database. I will try to check if it is a possibility. Then I will try to reach you.
Okay, can you share your coordinates with I mean with us or Sujit or whosoever, so we can connect with you and we can guide you what is the right practice, so that you can, although we cannot introspect or like we cannot do the research on your customer environment, that is I totally agree, but we can understand the nature of the application. There are many customers which will be using that kind of application, right? So if you could
Yes, yes.
share, yeah.
Yeah, we will check that, and we can try to first. I have also in discussion that we can check the vanilla Magento instance with the AWS, and that is in a discussion that is in a discussion phase only, because it will also cost money to create the instances, and they will take some time as their own priority. So if possible, we will try to engage you there. Like it's a when we are trying to go with the sample or vanilla instance.
Correct, correct. And even if you don't want us to engage with the customer directly, you can engage with us on behalf of your customer so that you can propose a right solution to them. Right?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So okay.
Is there
Any
anybody else who's asking a question? I think let's take it as a no.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Thank you so much. If there are no questions, but I would like to thank each one of you for the amazing participation and for the amazing questions. It was a two-way learning. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to meet you all. So please, we will be grateful if you could fill if you could scan this code, QR code on the screen and fill the survey.
yes.
Thank you. Over to you, Karthi.
Yeah, thank you, Divyanshi and Sayan and Sujat. So with this, we have come to an end to this webinar. We would like to know what you thought about this webinar, and therefore we would like to ask you to fill in a short evaluation as soon as possible. It's actually shared on your chat screen actually. And you can just scan the QR code which has been given as well. And you'll also receive an email containing a link to the broadcast so that you can watch it again, like at a later time, or share it with someone who might be interested as well. And as we had announced, we are giving out free AWS credits. Kindly contact Sujit for the same. Okay. And for the site optimization, please feel free to contact me on Karthi at ceymox.com. And also, please be informed that we have sent you all that WhatsApp group invitation in your registered email address. This group will be open for networking and open discussion soon after the webinar is over. Okay. So thank you for your attention. See you soon.